Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Millennium Daily News. This is Rofik Pramanik with top stories. Students protest against President-elect Trump in Washington, D.C. Obama warns against crude surge of nationalism. Rudy Giuliani may come as Secretary of State. Obama leaves for last overseas trip. Eastern Aleppo, a city in ruins. Holland leads Paris attacks memorial. India seeks to quell public anger by raising bank cash withdrawal. Those are the headlines. Now the detail. Hundreds of students walk out of school in Washington, D.C. as protests against President-elect Trump continue. Students from Woodrow Wilson High School filled the streets of Washington, D.C. on Tuesday. They met at Metro Center and marched right up to Trump Hotel, the latest project of President-elect Donald Trump. Chanting anti-Trump slogans and hold anti-Trump posters, the students were there to make their voices heard, even though there is no stopping Trump from taking office in January. Matt Floyd, Clinton's supporter, saying, "This is a democracy and I understand that. That's how legitimacy happens. You transfer power smoothly and that's what happens every year. But I'm not okay with the rhetoric that's been spoken." The demonstration followed several nights of unrest around the US, all in response to Trump's upset victory over Hillary Clinton. "I do believe, separate and apart from any particular election or movement, that we are going to have to guard against a rise in a crude sort of nationalism," says US President Obama in Greece. US President Barack Obama, stung by the surprise victory of Donald Trump in last week's US election, warned on Tuesday against a rise in nationalism and said a backlash against globalization had stalked populist movements at home and abroad. Obama said distrust of allies and governing institutions had fed success in the U.S. election for Senator Bernie Sanders, who challenged Hillary Clinton in a drawn-out Democratic primary contest, and for Trump, a former reality TV star who bested the former Secretary of State in the U.S. presidential race. Sources say former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani has emerged as a leading candidate to be U.S. Secretary of State for President-elect Donald Trump. Former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani is reputedly a leading candidate for the high-profile job of U.S. Secretary of State in the future cabinet of President-elect Donald Trump. It's one of the most demanding jobs in any administration. John Bolton, who served as U.S. ambassador to the United Nations under President George W. Bush, is also being considered. Rudy Giuliani saying, "This is a man with a big heart who loves people." Giuliani, who spoke at the Republican National Convention, was one of Trump's most vocal supporters on the campaign trail. U.S. President Barack Obama departs for his farewell tour as the U.S. head of state as prepares to make way for President-elect Donald Trump. U.S. President Barack Obama left on Monday on his left overseas trip as U.S. head of state. Obama will be heading to Europe and Latin America and said one of the most important things he could do during his visit was to reassure U.S. allies who may be concerned following Trump's victory over Democrat Hillary Clinton last week. Despite Trump's criticism of NATO spending during the campaign, Obama said the president-elect, who takes office January 20, had indicated he was committed to maintaining ties with U.S. allies. Obama is visiting Greece, Germany and Peru on his last trip abroad as president. Drone footage uploaded to a social media website shows the ruins of Syria's civil war, destroyed buildings, roads and rubble in the Al-Shar neighborhood of eastern Aleppo. Syrian drone video footage uploaded on social media on Sunday by the Aleppo Media Center appears to show destroyed buildings and rubble on the streets in Al-Shar neighborhood in eastern Aleppo, Syria. The video purports to show destroyed buildings that appear to be abandoned and some are razed to ground. Warplanes hit several areas of Aleppo's western suburbs and countryside on Saturday, where rebels had been trying to advance, the Syrian Observatory for Human Rights said. Meanwhile, the observatory also reported that rebel shelling of government-held western Aleppo has killed 92 people, including 29 children during the two-week offensive. The city has been divided for years between the government-held West and rebel-held East. President Francois Hollande leads the nation's commemoration of the first anniversary of the Paris attacks. French President Francois Hollande unveils a commemorative plaque to the first victim of the Paris attacks on the first anniversary of the bloodshed. It's one of a series of plaques being unveiled in memory of the 130 people who died and the 369 who were wounded in the series of coordinated attacks on bars, restaurants and outside a soccer stadium. The first of the plaques outside the Stade de France is at the spot where a suicide bomber detonated his explosives, claiming the life of shuttle bus driver Manuel Diaz. India's government increases the limit on cash withdrawals in a bid to calm public anger as thousands of people run low on cash.
सीमा पार से हमारे दुश्मन वहां पर नकली नोटें छाप छाप करके हमारे देश में घुसे गए। मुझे बताइए, क्या ये दुश्मनों की चाल चलने देनी चाहिए? ये दुश्मनों की चाल खत्म होनी चाहिए कि नहीं होनी चाहिए?
Viewers, we'll take a short break. Stay with us. We are back in a moment with the headlines here. Confusion surrounding Trump's talks with the foreign leaders. South Korea holds breath as students sit annual exams. Colombia rebel group suspected in attack on police. Clinton wanted to curl up after election loss. Prime Minister returns home from Morocco. Rohingya Muslims flee Myanmar, crackdown to Bangladesh. Warrant for Khaleda Zia's arrest. Government's evil design, said BNP.
ফ্রেন্ডস ডেভেলপমেন্ট
একটি স্বপ্নের ঠিকানা, একটি সুন্দর আবাসস্থল। ফ্রেন্ডস ডেভেলপমেন্ট আপনার স্বপ্নের বাস্তব রূপ দেয়।
নতুন ডুপ্লেক্স, অ্যাপার্টমেন্ট, কমার্শিয়াল বিল্ডিং নির্মাণের জন্য নির্ভরযোগ্য একটি প্রতিষ্ঠান
ফ্রেন্ডস ডেভেলপমেন্ট।
অত্যাধুনিক ডিজাইন, সর্বশেষ প্রযুক্তির সমন্বয়ে আমাদের কর্মতৎপরতা কনক্রিট, সিমেন্ট আর ইস্পাতের মজবুত বন্ধনে
গড়ে উঠুক আপনার বাড়ি। রোদ বৃষ্টি সহ সকল বৈরিতার বিরুদ্ধে করি সঠিক ট্রিটমেন্ট।
আপনার শহরের প্রাইম লোকেশনে রয়েছে আমাদের অ্যাপার্টমেন্ট।
আপনার কষ্টার্জিত টাকা এবং আমাদের নির্ভেজাল শ্রমে নির্মিত হোক আপনার স্বপ্নের বাড়িটি। আপনার জীবন হোক সুন্দর এবং আনন্দময়।
আমাদের ঠিকানা ফ্রেন্ডস ডেভেলপমেন্ট, 211 ইস্ট 43 স্ট্রিট, সুইট বি, 507, নিউ ইয়র্ক, NY 10017, ফোন 718-893020।
ইমেইল friendsdevelopment@optimum.net। নিশা ট্রেডিং একটি আন্তর্জাতিক মানের গার্মেন্টস প্রোডাক্ট আমদানি ও রপ্তানিকারক প্রতিষ্ঠান। ইউরোপ, এশিয়া ও আমেরিকা সহ বিশ্বের নানা স্থানে বাইং, মার্চেন্টাইজিং এবং ম্যানুফ্যাকচারিং করে থাকে। সর্বাধুনিক প্রযুক্তিতে তৈরি বিভিন্ন ডিজাইনের পোশাক বাজারজাতকরণ এবং বিপণন এই প্রতিষ্ঠানের লক্ষ্য। প্রতিষ্ঠানের বৈশিষ্ট্য: উন্নতমান নিশ্চিতকরণ, টেকসই পণ্যের নিশ্চয়তা, নির্ধারিত সময়ে পণ্য সরবরাহ, লেনদেনের স্বচ্ছতা ও বিশ্বস্ততা। যোগাযোগের ঠিকানা: USA কর্পোরেট অফিস, 1747 থার্ড স্ট্রিট, সুইট 215, জ্যাকসন হাইট, নিউ ইয়র্ক, NY 11372। বাংলাদেশ কর্পোরেট অফিস, বাড়ি নং 145, সপ্তম তলা, রোড নম্বর 12, ব্লক জি, দক্ষিণ বনশ্রী, খিলগাঁও, ঢাকা 1219।
as world leaders look to meet and talk with US President-elect Donald Trump. Some officials say they are confused as to how to contact the soon-to-be US leader and his transition team. World leaders are queuing to meet US President-elect Donald Trump, but contacting his transition team isn't that easy. First in line to officially meet the soon-to-be leader is Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. But a day before Abe's trip to New York, Japanese officials said plans had not been finalized. They weren't even sure to call for answers. It is unusual for foreign leaders to hold high-level diplomatic talks in the US without detailed planning. It is also unusual for leaders such as Australia's Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull to use informal channels to contact a president-elect. Turnbull said on Thursday he was one of the first leaders to speak to Trump after he got his phone number from Trump's friend, Australian golfer Greg Norman. The whole of South Korea pauses as students sit down for their annual college entrance exam. Seen as a vital step to succeed in life, tens of thousands of students in South Korea are about to sit their college entrance exam. As they flood into exam halls and classrooms across the country, they soak up last-minute wishes from teachers, parents and friends. This is an annual event, but the anxiety, excitement and fervor surrounding it never diminishes. The results can make or break a student's career or future. As the first pages of the test are turned, nervous parents head to churches and temples to pray. This man says he is praying for his son, just as his mother prayed for him when he was taking his exams. Colombian authorities say the National Liberation Army rebel group is suspected to be behind a bomb that went off near police officers in North de Santander city, confirmation of which is likely to derail peace talks. Yet another obstacle in the way of peace in Colombia, a bomb attack on Wednesday that wounded 17 police officers is believed by authorities to be linked to the ELN, a rebel group currently holding peace talks with the government. Colombia's Defense Minister Luis Carlos Villegas said the officers were on the way to fight organized crime involving the ELN. Formal peace talks between the group and President Juan Manuel Santos' administration were announced in October. Many hoped they would rejuvenate Santos' push for peace after it was dealt a blow in a referendum that rejected a peace deal with country's larger FARC rebel group. The ELN has been at war with the government for 5 decades. It was founded by the radical Catholic priest and inspired by Cuba's revolution. Defeated Democratic presidential candidate Hillary Clinton says all she wanted to do was to curl up with a good book or our dogs after her election loss to Donald Trump. Defeated Democratic presidential candidate Hillary Clinton called on Wednesday for a renewed fight for more inclusive United States despite disappointment over an election loss that laid bare national divisions. In her first public remarks since conceding to Republican Donald Trump last week, Clinton said that many Americans were asking whether his victory meant the United States was still the country they thought it was. The divisions laid bare by this election run deep. But please listen to me when I say this. America is worth it. Our children are worth it, she said at a Children Defense Fund event honoring scholarship winners. Believe in our country, fight for our values and never ever give up. Viewers, now the news on Bangladesh. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina returned home from Morocco on Thursday morning after wrapping up her 3-day official visit to the North African country to attend the high-level segments of the 22nd Conference of the Parties, also known as the Global Climate Summit. A flight of Biman Bangladesh Airlines carrying the Prime Minister and her entourage members landed at Hazrat Shahjalan International Airport at about 8:15 a.m. Ministers, advisors to the Prime Minister and high civil and military officials were present at the airport to receive the Prime Minister. The three-day high-level segments of COP22 of the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change were held in Morocco's former imperial city of Marrakech from 15 to 17 November. Heads of state and government from 80 countries, including Bangladesh, and senior ministers from 115 countries took part in the COP22. The Bangladesh Premier joined the inaugural session of the conference along with other heads of state and government on 15 November. Scores of Rohingya Muslims are fleeing to Bangladesh because of military crackdown on western Myanmar, according to residents and Bangladeshi army officials. Some of the Rohingya were shot as they tried to cross the Naf River that separates Myanmar and Bangladesh, while others arriving by boat were pushed away by Bangladeshi border guards. Residents quoted by Reuters news agency said on Wednesday a total number of 130 people have been killed in the latest surge of violence in the country. According to the Myanmar army, the bloodshed is the most serious since hundreds were killed in communal clashes in the western Myanmar state of Rakhine in 2012. Bangladesh Nationalist Party on Thursday alleged that the warrant for the arrest of its chairperson Khaleda Zia has been issued at the behest of the government to divert people's attention to a different direction from the attacks on minorities in Gaibandha and Brahmanbaria. In a statement, BNP Secretary General Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir said the issuance of the arrest warrant in a false case was not only an absurd matter but also part of the government's evil design. It's another big vindictive move by the regime. A court here on Thursday issued a warrant for the arrest of Khaleda in a case filed against her for celebrating fake birthday on National Mourning Day on August 15. Viewers, will take a short break. Stay with us. We are back in a moment.
ফ্রেন্ডস ডেভেলপমেন্ট
একটি স্বপ্নের ঠিকানা, একটি সুন্দর আবাসস্থল। ফ্রেন্ডস ডেভেলপমেন্ট আপনার স্বপ্নের বাস্তব রূপ দেয়।
নতুন ডুপ্লেক্স, অ্যাপার্টমেন্ট, কমার্শিয়াল বিল্ডিং নির্মাণের জন্য নির্ভরযোগ্য একটি প্রতিষ্ঠান
ফ্রেন্ডস ডেভেলপমেন্ট।
অত্যাধুনিক ডিজাইন, সর্বশেষ প্রযুক্তির সমন্বয়ে আমাদের কর্মতৎপরতা কনক্রিট, সিমেন্ট আর ইস্পাতের মজবুত বন্ধনে
গড়ে উঠুক আপনার বাড়ি। রোদ বৃষ্টি সহ সকল বৈরিতার বিরুদ্ধে করি সঠিক ট্রিটমেন্ট।
আপনার শহরের প্রাইম লোকেশনে রয়েছে আমাদের অ্যাপার্টমেন্ট।
আপনার কষ্টার্জিত টাকা এবং আমাদের নির্ভেজাল শ্রমে নির্মিত হোক আপনার স্বপ্নের বাড়িটি। আপনার জীবন হোক সুন্দর এবং আনন্দময়।
আমাদের ঠিকানা ফ্রেন্ডস ডেভেলপমেন্ট, 211 ইস্ট 43 স্ট্রিট, সুইট বি, 507, নিউ ইয়র্ক, NY 10017, ফোন 718-893020।
ইমেল friendsdevelopment@optimum.net। নিশা ট্রেডিং একটি আন্তর্জাতিক মানের গার্মেন্টস প্রোডাক্ট আমদানি ও রপ্তানিকারক প্রতিষ্ঠান। ইউরোপ, এশিয়া ও আমেরিকা সহ বিশ্বের নানা স্থানে বাইং, মার্চেন্টাইজিং এবং ম্যানুফ্যাকচারিং করে থাকে। সর্বাধুনিক প্রযুক্তিতে তৈরি বিভিন্ন ডিজাইনের পোশাক বাজারজাতকরণ এবং বিপণন এই প্রতিষ্ঠানের লক্ষ্য। প্রতিষ্ঠানের বৈশিষ্ট্য: উন্নতমান নিশ্চিতকরণ, টেকসই পণ্যের নিশ্চয়তা, নির্ধারিত সময়ে পণ্য সরবরাহ, লেনদেনের স্বচ্ছতা ও বিশ্বস্ততা। যোগাযোগের ঠিকানা: USA কর্পোরেট অফিস, 1747 থার্ড স্ট্রিট, সুইট 215, জ্যাকসন হাইট, নিউ ইয়র্ক, NY 11372। বাংলাদেশ কর্পোরেট অফিস, বাড়ি নং 145, সপ্তম তলা, রোড নম্বর 12, ব্লক জি, দক্ষিণ বনশ্রী, খিলগাঁও, ঢাকা 1219।
Now the news on environment, science and technology. 2016 looks poised to be the warmest year on record globally according to preliminary data. With data from just the first 9 months, scientists are 90% certain that 2016 will pass the mark set by 2015. Temperatures from January to September were 1.2 centigrade above pre-industrial levels according to the World Meteorological Organization. The body says the temperature should remain high enough for the rest of the year to break the previous record. El Nino has had an impact, but the most significant factor driving temperature up continues to be carbon dioxide emissions. The provincial statement on the status of the global climate in 2016 has been released early this year to help inform negotiators meeting in Morocco, who are trying to push forward with the Paris Climate Agreement. The largest, brightest full moon or supermoon in nearly 7 decades was on display in Sydney on Monday. Darting in and out from behind the clouds, the full moon comes nearer to Earth than at any time since 1948, astronomers said. At closest approach, which occurs at 1123 GMT on Monday, the moon passed within 260,000. Earth's surface about 22,000 miles closer than average they added. The moon's distance from Earth varies because it is an egg-shaped, not circular orbit around the planet. If skies are clear, the upcoming full moon will appear up to 14% bigger and 30% brighter than usual, making it what is called a supermoon according to NASA. A supermoon occurs when the timing of a full moon overlaps with the point in the moon's 28-day orbit that is closest to the Earth. The next time a full moon comes as the close to Earth will be in 2034. Animatronic dinosaurs at one of the UK's oldest theme parks are being given a new lease of life after being fitted with a Raspberry Pi using cognitive computing technology, Matthew Stock reports. Until recently, the animatronic dinosaurs at this theme park were looking a bit tame. They come with a limited set of pre-programmed predictable motions. Owner Alexander Dable wanted to figure out a way to give them more bite. Alexander Dable, owner of Black Gang Cine theme park, saying, "How do we get more out of our dinosaurs? How do we get them to be more interactive? How do we get them to be more intuitive to what it is that we want?" Dable put a message on Twitter looking for someone to hack his dinosaurs. IBM's and Stanford clerk jumped at the chance, installing Raspberry Pi mini computers and using IBM's cognitive computing platform New. Randomized routines for different scenarios are now programmable. Now the news on business. Rio Tinto fires 2 of its top executives over $10.5 million in payments to a consultant who helped the company win rights to develop the world's largest untapped iron ore lode in Guyana. Eve Johnson report. A bribery scandal going all the way to the top of the world's second largest mining company. The British-Australian giant Rio Tinto announcing it's fired 2 executives on Thursday over reports of $10 million in suspicious payments linked to an iron ore project in the West African country of Guyana. Rio Tinto is regarded as a top-tier, what they call in the industry, top-tier mining company with a very strong track record for transparency. China's economy largely showed further signs of steadying in October as expected, but as Graham Mackey reports, disappointing retail sales growth and fears of U.S. trade friction under incoming President Donald Trump are increasingly clouding the outlook. Picking up discount food just before food markets close for the day, one of the always a growing number of Chinese are cutting down on spending as household debt balloons up more than 100% in the past 10 years. 20 years ago, many of parents' friends wouldn't really have taken out money, borrowed money from a bank. They would only spend what they had made, and that was the attitude. But now with my generation, the younger generation are much more willing to borrow money and buy things with money that is effectively their own. Villagers in India are swarming to banks to exchange notes which have now been banned to third black marketers. The bank in the Indian village of Dodko isn't used to this much business. Most of the villagers don't have an account, and those who do rarely use it. The banks got very busy since India's Prime Minister banned 500 and 1000 rupee notes to flush out cash from the black market economy. The villagers, whose entire economy is mostly in cash, are flocking to exchange their now worthless notes for new 500 and 2000 rupee bills. Some say they couldn't find the cash to pay medical bills right now if they had to. Others are desperate to get their currency changed for family reasons. Now the news on entertainment. Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte, known for his love of karaoke, launches into Bette Midler's Wind Beneath My Wings at a singing session with Malaysian Prime Minister Najib Razak during a state dinner. Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte capped off his state visit to Malaysia on Thursday in a karaoke session with Malaysian Prime Minister Najib Razak at a state banquet hosted by Najib. Duterte was seen singing Bette Midler's Wind Beneath My Wings. Najib responded with a lively tune and sang The Young Ones by British pop singer Cliff Richard. The two later sang a duet of Danish band The Workers' Sha-la-la-la, which ended in a round of applause. Disney fans got a glimpse of the new Beauty and the Beast film of Monday, with the studio unveiling a 2-minute trailer for the upcoming live-action adaptation of its popular 1991 animated movie. Disney fans got a glimpse of the new Beauty and the Beast film on Monday, with the studio unveiling a 2-minute trailer for the upcoming live-action adaptation of its popular 1991 animated movie Harry Potter. Actress Emma Watson stars as heroine Belle, while Downton Abbey actor Dan Stevens plays Beast Prince Adam in the film, which is a new take on the classic fairy tale about a romance between a girl and her monstrous captor. Hollywood icon Robert Redford announces he is retiring from acting to focus more on directing and art, Rolls-Royce reports. Veteran Hollywood star Robert Redford has said in an interview that he is retiring from acting to focus on directing and his first love, art. In an interview with the Walker Art Center in Minneapolis, the 80-year-old said, "I am an impatient person, so it's hard for me to sit around and do take after take after take. Going back to sketching, that's sort of where my head is right now." Redford will still be seen in 4 projects coming out in 2017: The Old Man and the Gun, The Discovery, Our Souls at Night, and Come Sunday. Now the news on sports. After a two-day break, the fourth edition of Bangladesh Premier League resumed at Johor Ahmed Chaudhry Stadium in Chittagong on Thursday. Borishal Bulls will play against Chittagong Vikings on November 22 to wrap up the Chittagong before the 7-team tournament moves to Dhaka for the remaining matches at Sher-e-Bangla National Cricket Stadium from November 25. On completion of the first Dhaka phase, Saqib Al Hasan-led Dynamites took the top slot in the points table by virtue of new run rate, followed by Borishal Bulls and Khulna Titans respectively. All the three franchised teams earned 6 points, is playing 4 matches apiece and with same win-loss margin of 3-1. Viewers, let's have a look Millennium Daily News recap. Students protest against President-elect Trump in Washington, D.C. Obama warns against crude surge of nationalism. Rudy Giuliani may come as Secretary of State. Obama leaves for last overseas trip. Eastern Aleppo, a city in ruins. Holland leads Paris attacks memorial. India seeks to quell public anger by raising bank cash withdrawal. Viewers, to get any kinds of news, log in our social media facebook.com/Millennium TV USA and youtube.com/Millennium TV USA. You are up to date with our top stories so far here on Millennium TV, and don't forget to log in www.millenniumtv.net. Thank you and stay with Millennium TV. Allah Hafiz.